I really liked our operation. I liked getting in and out of the huddle. I liked getting in and out of personnel groupings. I thought we executed well. I thought that Joe had a lot of pace in his calls, which allowed our guys to get up at the line of scrimmage and operate, identify the defense, and then go play the play. But I felt like, just our offensive line in that first drive, I felt like, we were coming off the football. I felt like our backs and receivers were running hard, and I felt like Chase was making good decisions. So, it's a big winning edge when you can possess the ball like that in a game. But the thing about it is we got to finish it with a touchdown. And that's the takeaway, is that's a long drive, and a lot of that's positive, but we have to score touchdowns in order to beat the best people we face.
How much of an emphasis has that pace and tempo offensively been for you? Obviously, the whole idea of blitzing the defense is a big thing for that same scheme, but just how much of an emphasis on tempo have you put with that offense?
Yeah, I think there's just a lot of ways to define tempo, Daniel, and I think you're spot on. You can create tempo with literally how fast you play, and then you can create it by going in and out of personnel groupings, which can apply a lot of pressure on a defense. Okay, who's in the game? So we wanted to make that a big emphasis for this preseason, is making sure our operation, that we have good, clean operation. And sometimes that can be challenging with how many people you're working with, but I was pleased offensively with how we played tonight.
Brandon, Rashawn was part of that first drive. How do you think he did in his first drive?
Yeah, it seemed like his wind was good. I felt like, he certainly could have gone more than that. We felt like, hey, a 20-play drive, that's probably, double or triple the amount that we had planned for him, at least double the amount. So we just felt like, hey, that was a really positive drive. Got to see a lot of him. He was able to get that wind that we were kind of hoping to gain today. And, I'm glad that he wanted to go back out there because that means that he's in good shape.
The other day you mentioned guys would play or not. One of the things you said was that there were guys competing for the job. Was that the case with Drew and Kaiser and with the two, Kyler and Jenner?
Yeah, I feel like those guys, we kind of consider them co-starters, all four of those guys. We're very fortunate that way. And what we wanted to do, in Drew's case specifically, is that, hey, miss an entire year, make sure that he gets out there. And then we wanted to see those two guys play together. Because, the big thing at linebacker, that's an attrition position. So we wanted to see that kind of combination play together. And so I felt like those guys did a really good job in the first quarter, directing traffic for our team, playing with good energy. And I felt like it was good for them to get out there as a combination. So I felt like that was positive. And the same thing with Kyler and Chenna. We felt like those guys playing in combination with one another, would be something that would be good for the evaluation process. And then, both those two guys they're different. And just kind of, seeing exactly what their role is going to be for us. So I felt like that was a positive that all four of those guys got to play together tonight.
Brandon, you said before or during the week that if a player wasn't playing today, it was because either you had already evaluated them or if they were a veteran. Was there a reason why Jerry Tillery didn't suit up tonight?
Yeah, a lot of it had to do, it's a great question, Fernando. A lot of it had to do with the Rams and how many players that they were sitting today. I think they sat like 35 players. And so we just wanted to make sure that guys like Jerry and Justin, guys who we think are outstanding players in the league, that they were playing against, the right people. And we just feel like those guys are really valuable pieces for us. And we wanted them out there against, like people. And so we held those two out, and then same with O'Day and Matt Filer. It was kind of the same circumstance with those guys.
A couple of injuries that we noticed. Justin Jackson looked like he was getting his leg looked at.
Yeah, I think he's got a groin that we're still kind of to be determined, but we wanted to be careful with him. Kind of felt something and kind of shut him down. He had a good, start to the football game, and I liked what I saw, so we just kind of shut him down.
And then Cole Mazza.
Yeah. We're still evaluating right now, but he's got a shoulder that we're, taking a look at right now.
Brandon, this is a pretty good day for the bigger running backs like Kelly, Badwell, and Roundtree. What do you think about their performance tonight?
Yeah, I felt like that we were able to get those guys a lot of looks in the run game, which was important to us. And I think you saw the value of the two bigger backs later in the game. I thought that Darius had an incredible hit on special teams as well, which I was fired up about. And equally as exciting as their offensive contribution is where they are on special teams as well, because we're excited about all three of those guys, and those guys are, really competing hard for us, and for position. So to see us be able to run the ball with physicality at the end was exciting for us, and I thought that Larry and Darius did a nice job closing the game out.
Brandon, the fourth down that Roundtree popped a huge gain for, was that something that
in your own end like that, just practicing situations for first preseason game?
Yeah, that was a green go for us. I mean, it definitely is practice, but that was a go for us all the way. And we felt like it was the right amount, and then we felt like we had the right play call, and then just felt like timing in the game to get that first down, what it would do for us, expected points after that. We felt like it would be, a good situation to do it, and good practice, like you said.
When you say green go, are you getting fed win probability numbers? Like
we have a really good team of teams up top with Dan Smash, Aditya Krishnan, and then you've got Joe and Nadi up top in the box, myself and Darius downstairs, and so we're in communication throughout the drives, throughout the series, and we felt like that was a good time to go do it.
Brandon, how did you feel being first game basically coaching? How did you feel coaching and then at the same time calling the defensive plays?
Felt like it was a smooth operation. I mean, I really did. I've got such a great defensive staff that knows, us so well, knows me so well. Once our series is over, hey, Nadi and I talk right away, and then Nadi kind of rewinds the series with the staff. If I can have a moment to go talk to the defense, I certainly will. I did, several times tonight. But having Ronaldo Hill as our defensive coordinator is such a winning edge for me, first-time head coach, and being able to keep me where I need to be, which is my eyes on the field for offense and the kicking game. So I felt like it was pretty clean operation with myself, Joe, Darius, Nadi, and I'm hoping that we get a lot better as we go.
It seems like tonight more of your depth was tested than, actually the starters. How do you feel about that depth moving forward on the defensive side of the football?
Yeah, I really liked the fourth quarter. I think, it was important to us to be able to see everybody on the field today. And I felt like in the fourth quarter, we got to be able to see those guys that are competing so hard, that have been practicing really well for us. And I felt like that was what was exciting about the fourth quarter, is seeing those guys really play their tails off and really play to our standard. And being able to finish out the game on both sides of the ball. But defensively, I was very proud of the way we played down in there tight, low red, getting the takeaway. That was a big highlight for us.
How did you feel about the special teams operation overall? Obviously, some big plays on kickoff coverage, but with some miscommunications with the punt return teams getting the right number.
I was really excited about our kickoff coverage. Our punt coverage, they have a 2-returner system that we were aware of. One time, on one of the returns, we had, a gunner fall, which kind of led to a distortion in the coverage. And then the other one, obviously that got called back because, they blocked us in the back. But, we had too many guys on the field. It was, it's a tough job in the special teams guys in the preseason with guys being in and out. It's a really tough job, really tough. And, we had shut down Chris Rumpf at halftime for special teams, but he was going to play the second half on defense. And Chris ended up staying out there, kind of misinterpreted what we told him, which is our fault, my fault. And so, we got to take ownership because their offense went back out on the field there. But, overall, I think that, our punt coverage unit needs to be better, especially seeing a different return system with 2 guys back there. I thought Ty was exceptional punting the football, which is a real highlight. I thought our protection units were good, but we have to, do much better from the coverage standpoint.
Last year, Ty kicked out, and tonight you had the 2 kickers kicking. Would you rather not have the punter kick off?
Yeah, that would be our preference. We would prefer to keep Ty the punter, and then we're going to let Mike and Tristan duke it out. And we wanted to make sure that evaluation is expressed fully. Both of those guys got shots at kicking the ball off, and so that's a big part of it. So we're at the beginning, and we're going to see what these next 3 weeks bring.
With Justin Jones and Jerry Tillery and Linval all out tonight, you guys see a lot of this depth in the defensive line. What do you think about those guys? Brandon Fajoko got some pressure, Joe Gaziano, Forrest Maryland.
I thought our inside guys, I think Gift Smith's doing such a good job with those guys. Those guys you mentioned specifically, Daniel, I thought really played physically in the run game. I've got a lot of respect for that team and how they run the football. They're one of the premier running teams in the NFL, and I felt like Forrest, Braden, those guys, Joe Graziano, I thought that those guys were physical, and that was our goal tonight, was to be a line of scrimmage team, kind of establish our way of playing. And I felt like specifically inside, I think we can play better on the edge, but I felt like inside, those guys really played at a high level.
And then Trey Pipkins and Storm Norton got quite a bit of playing time. You guys talked highly about them in practice.
I saw, a lot of good things, and then I saw some things that we definitely need to correct. A couple times that, we were leaky in protection. And so, it all ties together: quarterback, timing, receivers. As you guys know, in the passing game, there are many components to pressure, but I thought those guys handled themselves well. I know we had an offside, a false start, which, we want to eliminate that. We don't want to be a pre-snap penalty operation, but those guys are doing well for us. And then, they got to continue to take their game to another level, and we're going to play against a really good front this week in San Francisco, and we'll be tested.
Feel about Asante Samuel Jr., his performance?
I think he got out there and got his feet underneath him. I think early in the game he was a little careful, but then I think as it went on, he was more aggressive. And I think our first group on defense played well tonight. It wasn't, our execution can and must be better, but our guys played really hard tonight. They played really hard. We were really physical. I thought we tackled pretty well, guys, tonight. I think that showed itself. I'm really proud of that, because normally in your first preseason game, how are you going to tackle? We punched a couple balls out, got unlucky a little bit. But there was a couple balls on the deck we had to take away down in there in the low red, which was exciting. But I thought our guys played physically tonight, and I was really, really happy with how we tackled. And normally, how you tackle is a function of how much space is in the down. And I think we did a really good job as a team playing team defense, shrinking the space within the play, not getting too many people's on islands, and then we were able to play, a lot of 2-on-1, 3-on-1 tackles.
Preseason game coaching. Did Sean McVay say anything to you after the game when you guys shook hands?
Oh, just so brief. It's there's so much to say in so little time, but hey, just congratulations, and it was really great to see him and all the guys tonight, and I've got a lot of respect for that team, and it was good for our first test to be against a team like that.
I asked you last week about John Brandon. He came up with that interception tonight. You mentioned that he was just getting more comfortable in the scheme and the install. But just on that play specifically, it looked like he left his man and read it to go for the interception. What did you see there? Just how impressive?
Yeah, it's Daniel, it's tricky in that down and distance, in that field zone. The quarterback really comes alive late in the down, because that it's do or die. So, unfortunately, we gave up an escape lane to the quarterback, and then you got to get reconnected, right? And the scramble, drill, which is a big thing down there, and we talk about it all the time, that the best quarterbacks really come alive down in there with their legs. So he was able to get reconnected and kind of cut the route off there, and be there in time to save us. So really excited for him, because he's been working so hard, and he's got so far to go, but his heart, his spirit is right, and we're going to keep coaching him.